Hello everyone, this is Adonis Turner of Rebirth Fitness, and here is a compilation of videos of my last squat program. That was a total of 5 workouts, about 2 weeks apart. First day was on December 28th, and it was a quick workout, and I was very tired that day, which I should have just waited until the next day, which would have been Monday, to do the workout, and I would have got a better performance out of it. But long and behold, these are my last 2 singles. I got one at 420, which was a grinder, then I tried one at 425. Looking back at it now, I regret doing this workout altogether because I was exhausted. I think I was on like 5 hours of sleep, but I was really itching to work out because I hadn't worked out in a week at that point. So I got it done. I was only 5 pounds under my projected goal, which was, I believe, 435 for this workout. It was okay overall, but compared to the workouts you'll see after this, it really doesn't compare, to be honest. So I only have those last 2 singles, and here's me talking about how I did quadruples from 365 to 380, then singles from 385 to 425. Week 2 was a very good very good workout. I did triples from 390 to 410, and then singles from 415 to 460. I believe my goal for this particular year is to hit 450, which is just 35 pounds under my max, but I ended up hitting 460, so I was pretty happy with it. Didn't try 465 because 460 was enough of a grinder. And here's my last triple at 410, which was pretty smooth, hitting depth on all my sets, which is most important, and keeping my heels down for the most part and staying upright as well, and knock that out. 410 for 3 is probably the most I've ever done for 3. I could probably do around 485 for 3, but my programs don't allow me to do stuff like that. So here's 440, which is single number 5, I believe. And that was tougher than it needed to be. I didn't feel good on that particular single, but it does get better for the singles coming after that. 445, this is what this is. This was a good single. And basically each single after that was the exact same speed for the most part. Hitting depth, which is key in this program. This program really illustrates really utilizes the pre-exhaust phase, to where first you start off doing quadruples, then singles, then triples, then singles, then doubles and singles, and then for week 4 you're just doing singles starting at 95%, which is essentially one of the most important days of the program, and then 2 weeks after that you are maxing. And here I just hit 450, which is a solid single I was pretty happy with. After that, 455, which honestly I kind of stumbled out of the rack there, but I felt like I was going to be done here. But the way this goes up, if I remember this one correctly, it goes up pretty well, and I knew I had more after that. .460, I believe this is my last single, and I usually stop at the single when it starts to take over 5 seconds long to complete the upper part of the motion of a particular rep. I usually just stop at that point, or depending on the day I may just stop when I miss, but this was a grinder and I did complete the rep. I'm happy about completing reps that take very long because they're a struggle, and it really shows you the ability of not giving up during a rep, as opposed to just like copping out and then just dropping the weight and not getting the rep at all. Week 3 was doubles from 410 to 435, and this was after that was singles from 440 to 475. Today, I believe my goal was 475, but I was thinking during the entire workout that I really wanted to tie my PR today. Here's my last double at 435, which every double was pretty much the same speed. I'm not really good at doing reps, and I say reps as in anything more than 1. So 435 actually felt pretty tough, but looking at the video now, it didn't look that bad. This was my 5th single, I believe, after doing 440, 445, 450, and so on. And that felt good, and I knew I had a lot more in me to go. There's 465, which would be the heaviest I've gone on this program thus far. and I get that one. That was not a good single. It could have been better. I do regroup and really take a little bit more time to rest in between sets. I kind of was a little anxious, and I think I was doing 4 or 3 minutes as opposed to 5 to 7, which allows for optimal recovery for me. Here's 465, which is just 20 pounds under my max at the time, and I knocked that one out pretty easily too. And that was actually better than the single before, so I knew the single before was a fluke. But here's 470, and remember, this is the heaviest I've gone on this program so far, and I was really focused on making sure the balance was almost perfect, and it basically was. It got me almost 50% of the way up, when it usually only gives me about 30% of the way up. The key thing about the bounce is if it's good enough, you really don't have to use your actual strength until like the last 2/3 of the eccentric portion. And here's 475, which was a grinder. The bar rolled up, which I was really unhappy with, but hey, I finished it, and that's a good single. Thought about doing 480, but I didn't want to push my luck. So 2 weeks later, I do singles from 460 to 495. The program actually calls for starting at 95% and going until you fail, so I did just that. So at my last warm-up set was at 425. It was a cold day, so I kept the sweats on, and this was actually a very fast single, the very fastest I've ever done 425. Then after that, 460. I need to work on my walkout better, and to keep it under like maybe 1 to 3 steps. And this was also a very fast single. And then once I did 460, I realized I had well over 500 in me. But of course, a program's a program. So next I did 465, and then so on and so forth. Again, have to improve my walkout when meet time comes, so I'm not doing a whole bunch of steps and stutter steps. 465 felt good. Every single felt really good, and I was really impressed with how much the program has helped to this point, even with staying upright and strength. And I already felt stronger and quicker out of the bottom portion. That was legal depth right there, but I would like to be a little bit lower to get better bounce, but I was still happy with it. 475, which ties a PR for this cycle, and I got that pretty convincingly as well. And I knew I had a long way to go for this one. I had the idea I wanted to hit 500 this workout, because if whatever I hit, I know I have at least 30 pounds more for me for the max day. So that's kind of what I had in mind. So I hit 500, I knew I could get 530 in 2 weeks after. This was 480. Now keep in mind, this is only 5 pounds under my max, so everything is going up pretty smoothly. And here's 485. I haven't put this weight on. Last time I did this weight was 3 months ago from this point, and that was convincingly. So I tied a PR on set number, I believe it's 6. Yeah, set number 6. I tied a PR, and 490 is going for a PR for the first time in about 3 months. And then I always take about 5 breaths before I descend, and then go upward. And look at the face in the mirror. Look at that face. Focus, focus, focus. Nailed it. 490 is now a PR, just 10 pounds under 500. But wait, there's more. About to go for 495 right here. 495 is actually the last thing I was able to do. I was really greedy. Normally I wouldn't have went for it, but I wanted to go until I didn't get one, because you never know until you try, essentially. And when I put 5 plates on, it looked really, really heavy, especially because 490 was very, very slow, and then 495 was a little bit faster. And then after that, I tried 500 for the first time. I wanted to see how it felt for sure. It didn't feel like really heavy as I anticipated, so I was happy with that, but I just really couldn't get enough strength underneath to really propel myself upward, and I failed at 500, which wasn't really disappointing because I hit a 10-pound PR on set 8, and I knew I had 525 in me for my max day, because usually when I work up to a heavy single via adding 5 pounds from 95%, I know whatever my top set is, I have 30 pounds more in me. So when you try this program, just remember, whatever you hit for your top set, after doing that 4th week, you probably have at least 30 pounds more in you. So just keep that in mind. Here's my last warm-up set before I start hitting PRs at 465, and that was very smooth. And here's 500. The weight I just got finished filling, and I stumbled there for some reason. I don't know why I stumbled there. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I just really need to focus. Felt good there, stayed upright. Felt easy, and at that point I was contemplating 515 or 525, but I played it safe and did 515. And then once I stumbled the first time, I realized I really have to be careful about the walkout, because now we're over 500, so I need to be a little bit more safe and less arrogant. And 515 also went up pretty smooth. And at that point, I tried 525, which, remember, I said I worked up to a heavy single 495, so I knew I had at least this in me, or more. Got a little scare there, but what happened was I nailed the lift, which of course I'm happy with. I hit 30 pounds and I improved 40 pounds during the cycle. But once I hit depth, I actually hit lower than normal, which caused me to lose tightness in my entire body, essentially. So once I was on my way up, I was very loose and I had to regroup, but I eventually regrouped and got the lift, bottom line. And 5 sets of my back off set was to do 75% or whatever I hit, and do 5 sets of 3. And I always film my last sets, or my last set, to see what my form looks like at the end of like a 5x3 or a 7x3, just to see how much, if my form's still good on like when I'm most fatigued. And here's a back view, and it looks cool to have 5 plates on each side. I believe this one was 500, but I have 525 after that, and my meet goal as of right now is 550. So thanks for watching, and have a good one.